Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-creators of TYRO.
You know, TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, and a warrior is somebody who is fighting for something, right? But a warrior with no training is a dangerous individual.
That is so true.
Right?
We did not invent the word or create the word TYRO. But what we did is we used that word TYRO and we created a suite of programs to help people overcome obstacles and challenges in front of them in order to build a legacy of strong families. And we did that out of our own personal experience of having to overcome welfare, incarceration, in order to build a strong, thriving family in spite of the challenges we faced.
And I think one of the greatest things that we had to overcome was our own thinking.
Oh my word, yes.
You know, our thinking was thinking, right?
For
I
sure.
know you heard that phrase before. But today we're going to talk about self-discipline.
Yes.
You know, in self-discipline, you know, you see a lot of fitness, you see a lot of, on social media today, on the platforms about people promoting this Pilates or Pilates or bicycles, and even they got all these new gadgets and stuff like that. But the bottom line is if you lack self-control or self-discipline, it doesn't matter how many apps you download.
Doesn't matter how many gadgets you buy, doesn't matter your best intentions, you are going to make zero progress. So if you really want something different, you've got to learn to do something different. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Because when Ron found himself in prison for a crime he didn't commit, the boys and I on the outside on welfare, we woke up and realized, you know what? We want something different. We've got to do something different.
But because of lack of self-control, lack of being able to be trusted and all these type of things, trusted, you know, we woke up to reality that we had to change. When first the change happened where? Within. Before it could happen without, it had to happen within.
So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to break down what do you do, how do you develop self-discipline, and why are we even talking about it? You don't want to miss this one.
So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about self-discipline. Right? And one of the things,
that's a tough word.
It
right?
is. Discipline does not walk with chumps. Let's just put that out there. Right? But what we're talking about is, what is your philosophy? You know, when we talk about, and I say the word philosophy, it automatically it triggers me what it means. Somebody who loves wisdom. Right? Who loves wisdom. And it takes a great deal of discipline to love wisdom, because without wisdom and the knowledge to apply it, you're like what would be a good example of, you're like a
fish
ship
out of water.
A fish out of water, a ship with no sail.
Right.
Don't know where you're going, out of control.
Yeah, that's right. Just being tossed to and fro, having absolutely no control over your life. And so when we're talking about discipline, we're bringing it even deeper. Self-discipline. That's what we're talking about. The ability to control this. Your own little micro universe right here. Your thoughts, your actions, your words, your nonverbals. Self-discipline is a big deal. And you know what? It's hard. It's hard to have somebody say to you, you know what? You have to be more disciplined. And it's also hard to just recognize that in ourselves and say, you know what? The reason this is or isn't happening is because I haven't been disciplined enough to make it happen or to keep it from happening.
Now, I remember, and I'm going to give you a quick example of when I used to smoke cigarettes. You know, I kept saying every day, today's the day I'm going to quit. The truth is I didn't want to quit. Right? Plus, because I lacked the discipline that it would take to let nicotine really be removed from my body, so I would no longer crave nicotine. And this was a process. So what we're going to talk about today is, what is it? what is self-discipline? What is self-control? You know, we're talking about changing the way you think. You know, breaking old habits. Because I tell you what, boy, habits are hard to what?
Hard to break.
Hard to break.
Yeah, they are. They're easy to form. They're hard to break. And when something becomes a habit and we don't exercise self-discipline, we find ourselves in a place where we're not doing the things that we want to do, and so regret starts to creep in. Self-discipline breeds a solid reputation of, wow, look at that person. They achieve what they set out to achieve. So when we say self-discipline, we mean living up to your own highest expectations. Not the expectations of other people, but your expectations. Because not everybody around you knows when you miss the mark, but you know. So if you know that, you know what, I told myself I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to work out, and I'm going to eat right, and every day you hit the snooze button and you turn your alarm back 3 hours and you say, oh, tomorrow, tomorrow. Nobody else might know that but you. But it's infecting how you see yourself, and it's infecting your ability to really move forward.
You know, self-discipline is a philosophy that everyone should embrace, but to a degree, everyone might be different. But if you're not practicing a type of self-discipline in one area or more areas of your life, the question is, are you really living? Are you living to the best of your ability, right? Because I know at one time I used to weigh close to 190 pounds. Right, I'm 5'4". So at a 5'4" height, at pushing 200, right? I was a jolly guy.
You were a jolly guy.
I was jolly. Right?
And somebody said, wow, Ron, you're really having a battle with food, aren't you? And Ron says, no, I don't battle with food.
I give in all the time. Right? I give in to it. But then when I really began to look at that statement, Ron, you're really overweight, and you're on borderline. Actually, I was across the border of obesity, and my health was deteriorating, right? So I had to make a conscious choice, and that's what self-discipline is right there.
Yeah.
Making a conscious choice to do better.
So next time he saw me, went back, he says, you know what, I thought more about it. I don't battle with food, I battle with discipline. And so recognizing that is like a really powerful thing, because self-discipline means that other people are not imposing their will on you, but instead you are bringing your own will to pass.
I said earlier, discipline don't walk with chumps. And I've been with discipline in the past when I was in prison. I walked with discipline. I embraced discipline. I know what it takes to really come to that place in your thinking process. You know what? Today's the day I'm going to make a change. I'm staking my ground. I'm putting my flag in the ground, right? That's what we do. That's what discipline does. It gives you that fortitude when you put the stake in the ground, you say, you know what? Nothing's going to deter me. I'm going to see to it that I do this. And this takes a type of effort, right? That maybe we're not willing to exert.
Oh, and that's a good word, right? That is a really good word. Discipline requires effort. And that's what we're talking about. Are we willing to put forth effort in order to bring the change that we desire to see in our lives? Otherwise, we live in lament and regret. And so when we think about self-discipline, we think about the power to achieve our dreams, to put forth the plan that we need to see happen in order to get the outcome that who wants? We want. That you want for your life, for your family, for your children.
And the first thing that we have to do is we're talking about changing your thinking. We're going to get deeper into that as we go on in this segment. But what we're saying right now, your best thinking, no matter where you're at in life, if you're not happy where you're at, remember, your best thinking got you where? Right there.
Where you are.
Right where you're at. And so if you're in the penitentiary, right, your best thinking got you where? In prison. You got to change the way you think so you can have a different outcome. If your best thinking got you pant size 42-inch waist, right?
At 5'4".
Whoa, it's time to change the way I think.
So when we come back, we're going to talk more about why it's so important to invoke this thing called self-discipline. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through family days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about self-discipline.
Ooh-wee, right? Self-discipline. It's just like, oh, I don't want to hear about that.
I don't
want
wanna
to
hear
eat
it.
my ice cream. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hit snooze.
I don't want to hear about it. I want to binge watch Netflix till 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to shove my workout clothes at the back of my closet.
I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to even fold my laundry.
Right. I don't want to hear about it. I'm not taking those extra courses so that I can get that promotion I want.
You know, discipline falls in all types of categories in our lives. You know, and there are a lot of things that we need to look at and examine in every area of our life because we lack discipline in more places than one.
So we talk about this at the beginning of every single show, the idea of a tyro being a person worth following, a leader in their home, their community, and their workplace, without invoking, without applying, without finding a way to ignite self-discipline, you can never lead well, not in your home, not in the workplace, and not in your community. In order to be really viewed as a strong leader and respected, you must be practicing self-discipline.
Why is this important, as Cathy is saying? Because people are counting on you. You have people watching you to change. They want you to become better. Now, not everybody is you got people in your life that don't even care. But guess what? There's somebody, I know, if you're a father out there, there's somebody in your life right now that is watching you and hoping that you change, hoping that you become better. Why? So that you can instill those disciplines, those practices into somebody else. That's what this is about. Because when you achieve marks in your life, when you achieve those victories in your life, people can come to you and say, how did you do it? In self-discipline, now you're able to impart what the practices that you engaged, that you partook of, and you can empower others to follow in your footsteps.
So if you look at your children and you see the path that they're taking, ask yourself this. You know what? Is this a path that's going to get them to the places that you want them to be and that they're going to want to be? And if not, how did they learn, or where are they getting the idea to do the things they're doing? Because it's most likely from you and you as parents. So when you really start practicing self-discipline, not only are you moving yourself forward to achieve your dreams, not only are you setting new precedents for you, but you're also carving out a path for your children because they watch and they learn. Children watch first, listen second, and learn by both watching and listening. But if there's no congruency, if you're saying, well, you know what, you need to get up earlier so you're not rushing out. You need to stop being late for school, but you're late to work every day. And if you say, you know what, you should really read more, and you come home and you sit down on the couch, you got your bag of chips, and you're just watching TV, or you're just sitting there on your electronics, and your kids are watching that, they're saying, oh wow, that's the expected behavior.
You know, and that is so crucial because what we see is what we do. Because seeing is believing. And if you're trying to convince somebody else to do something you're not willing to do, it doesn't go very far. So our challenge to you in this episode is, what are you doing to make yourself better, not bitter? Every day. What are you doing that's getting closer to your goals? Are you writing down goals? Are you sharing your goals with others? Are you part of an organization, a club, a group of people where you're challenging, constantly pushing each other to become better, whatever that is? If you're trying to do, in the penitentiary, there's a saying called push-aways. And when you do a push-away, we're talking about push the tray away, right? Push it away. Because out here in the community, out here in the streets, man, everywhere around you, McDonald's is everywhere. Fast food is everywhere. And it's easy
to supersize me all day long.
Supersize me. And we fall into that trap where we're driving, we're eating, we're sleeping. We're driving, we're eating, we're sleeping. We're not walking, we're not working out, right? We're feeding ourselves what we take in, and we start to look like what we eat. You become what you eat.
And that means if you are eating like, you know what, I'm just going to do whatever I want, whenever I want, I promise you that you are not feeling satisfied. You're feeling disappointed in yourself. Again, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what they think. If they think, wow, that person's achieving a lot, if you know inside of you that you're not achieving your highest potential, that maybe you're not even trying to, then you're going to walk around feeling discouraged, disappointed in you. So if it's important for you, for your mental health, it's important for you for your physical health, for your emotional health, it's important for you for your social health and your relational health to practice self-discipline. Because a person without discipline hurts themselves and hurts everyone around them. If you look at people with disdain, if you say hard, cutting remarks every time somebody talks to you, if you don't do the things that you say that you are going to do, that whole combination comes up and it creates pain in you and pain for everyone around you.
Misery loves company. Right? And so in order to change that attitude, you got to change the way you think. Self-discipline. Change the way you look at yourself. You know, get up early in the morning. We're going to talk about how you can do this. We're going to talk about some key things that will help empower you. And if you're already doing it, great. Do them, even empower yourself by empowering others to do what you're doing. There's some of you out there practicing great principles of self-discipline. But how can you take that what you're practicing and impart it to others, right?
And I will tell you, there's also some of you out there that have been offended because somebody has challenged you to practice self-discipline. You know, I know there was a friend of mine, and I'm watching her become more and more and more unhealthy. And so I say to her, you know what, you really need to walk more. You really need to get more sleep. You really need to eat better. You always walk around with an energy drink in one hand and a candy bar in the other. And she was so offended. You know what, who are you to tell me what to do? Stop. Do not talk to me about health. And then I watched it, and then one day she woke up and she came and she said, you know what, you're right. I need to do something different. But if you're feeling challenged and defensive, that means you're not practicing self-discipline. So you need to stay tuned, because our next segment after this short break, we're going to tell you how to do it.
So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Ron.
Thank you so much for being part of this journey with us. You know what? This has been a life journey for us.
Heck yeah.
And you know what? We want to share with you that having a life of self-discipline, just because you think you arrived, guess what? Here comes something else. Here comes something.
Right.
We all need discipline in our lives in many areas.
So we are all on this continuous improvement plan. But if you don't get started in practicing self-discipline, you are never going to get where you want to go. In order to be successful, in order to feel satisfied, in order to feel happy or joyful, then you've got to practice self-discipline. You've got to be able to rule over this body, because really that's the only thing you have control over. Don't give up the one place, the one thing you have control of.
So one of the first things we want to share with you that we do to help us practice self-discipline is we start every day, every week, every month with a schedule.
Yep.
Right? We don't just wing our day, we plan our day. Right? And so the first thing we want to share with you is have a schedule of what your week's going to look like. Have a schedule of what that day's going to look like. From the moment you wake up, from the moment you're going to lay down, did you have a plan of action?
And so what we do, just to give you a further tidbit, is on Sunday nights, we have an overarching goal of these 5 things we want to accomplish this week. And then by 10 o'clock at night, we know what exactly we're doing, the specific objectives or activities for Monday. So we've got our week plan of what we want to accomplish, but then we have every night of the week, we have the plan of the next day. We're going to meet with this person, we're going to write this thing, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And that includes both professional things and personal things.
So remember, people are watching you, and so something recently what really excited us, and we know our daughter's been doing this for a while, but she shared with us recently, hey, I haven't shared with you guys lately my schedule, so let me share with you what my plans are for the next 30 days. And she wrote it all out, and we just sit back, not making a big deal of it, but inside, yes, she's writing it down. She's putting a schedule together. She's getting it, right? So the number 2 thing that we do is we write a journal. We write about the things that were challenging for that day, the things that we had victory over, the things that, I could have did better. I shouldn't have said that. How we experienced that schedule.
What did I learn today? What did I accomplish today? And journaling is really important because it helps us refocus on our goals. Because if we're journaling the things that we accomplished that day and the things we learned that day and they're completely unrelated to our goals for that week, we need to reevaluate our goals and say, wow, is this really something I want to spend my time and energy on, or did I get pulled off track? And by journaling, it actually creates reflection to know if you're heading the right direction. So 1, schedule, 2, journal.
And number 3, the third thing we do is we look at our relationships. And specifically, I'm going to talk about Cathy and I. I want to invest in this relationship, but I also want to know, am I investing in the right portion? Am I saying the right things? Am I triggering bad history? What am I doing to strengthen this relationship? Because why? The number 1 thing for me and Cathy is us. Right? Because if the us is not in sync, guess what? The rest of the day is going to be hit and miss.
So when we think about self-discipline, you're probably saying, okay, what does investing in relationships have to do with self-discipline? A lot. Because if I don't have discipline, I don't care about investing in people around me. All I care about is me. Me. Very selfish, very self-centered. But when I practice self-discipline, I understand that, these are people I care about, so I have to discipline myself to interact with them appropriately, manage my emotions, manage my words, right? To make sure that I'm connecting with my family, my spouse, my friends, and my community.
Great word, Cathy. Number 4 is this is kind of, maybe some of you have been your worst enemy. We say that a lot on these episodes. But you got to become your number 1 fan.
Oh yeah.
Now when I say this because to Cathy, I'm her number 1 fan. But guess what? I can't be a fan to her like she can to herself. Right. So my practice is the discipline. Love others as you want somebody to love you. So with that in mind, I want to be my biggest fan. I want to cheer myself. I want to ignite and launch my dreams by telling myself, I can, I will, I must.
So don't limit yourself by not practicing discipline and ending up letting other people's agendas sweep you away. So by being your number 1 fan, you are ensuring that your needs, your desires, your gifts, your talents are having the opportunity to flourish. And you're doing that by being disciplined and activating that
And
every
we're not
day.
talking about being selfish, like you're going to get your way no matter who you hurt.
No.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about a healthy love for yourself and all those around you. All right.
And so then number 5, and this one is really important, and that is slow down. Enjoy the ride. That means when you're not disciplined, you're tossed to and fro, every little thing's an emergency, you're running here, you're running there. When you practice self-discipline, then you can slow down and you're in your plan, you're planning out what you're getting. Of course, there's always unexpected things that happen, but be in the moment. Discipline yourself to be right here, right now, and be present instead of somewhere else thinking about the next thing you have to do. And by practicing that self-discipline, you are preparing yourself to have exponential growth, personally, professionally, and relationally.
I think about dads. Listen, if you're in the penitentiary, I think about people who are out here and they're always the opposite. Now watch what happens. If a man goes to prison, for those of you out there, listen, dads, everything is slow. Maybe even a little bit hurry and wait, but mainly slow. Everything is moving clockwork. And there's a reason for this, is to empower us to embrace the moment, slow it down. Because on the streets, right, now come on,
Discipline ourselves.
out here everything is fast paced, everything is going. But if you don't have self-control, you'll let the wave of the world take you out. Instead of you ride the wave, you'll be sucked up by the wave.
Ooh-wee. So these 5 principles will help you activate self-discipline in your life. Begin to practice them right now, no matter what you've done yesterday or even earlier today. Right now, this moment that you've never lived in before is a perfect opportunity to start practicing self-discipline.
So when we come back, we're going to wrap it all up. So you don't want to miss this?
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And wow, this has been an amazing show. You know what? I have really loved learning discipline with my wife. Right? Because if our house is filled with chaos and no discipline, my gosh, I'm so glad my wife has disciplined herself to wash the dishes.
Me too, right? There was a time when really I'd say, oh, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. Because I didn't have the discipline to just say, you know what, let me just take care of it, and then it's over. And so I would carry it with me for hours and hours, knowing I had to go back to it and do it.
And just in fairness, I know that was a joke,
but no, really.
But in the past, when we were kids we were grown-ups playing house,
right?
The dishes would pile up, the laundry would pile up, the floor would never get vacuumed, right? Because we were kids playing house.
We didn't know how to practice self-discipline in order to bring order to our lives, in order to bring peace to our lives, and in order to accomplish our goals. So we learned the hard way. And we know some of you out there, you've learned the hard way. But now is the perfect opportunity to invoke and apply and engage in tandem with self-discipline so that you can achieve your greatest potential and lead your children and family well.
And this is really exciting stuff, because once you begin to do this, once you begin to enact discipline in your everyday life, your life will be so structured in a way that it will be enjoyable.
But not rigid.
Not rigid, because we know there's flexibility and everything.
It has to be.
But you will be so much better to be around.
And you will be able to use self-control. You will see yourself as well in power and control. Your self-esteem will raise. Even when things are outside of your control, because you have learned to control you will still be at peace. You will still be able to navigate through that and say,
So I got a confession. So one of the bad habits that I've had is not putting the clothes in the laundry basket when they're dirty, right? I don't know, dads, if you ever done that. You're at home and you got your bathroom, you just throw it on the floor. Well, you know what? I practice now self-control. I see the basket, I see my clothes, and I put them where they belong. Right? As simple as something like that, right? And it makes everything more cleaner, more presentable. Right?
And you feel more at peace.
And I feel at peace.
That's awesome. Well, we hope that you gained something today that you can put into practice right now, that's going to help you build a stronger, healthier, more powerful legacy for your children.
So thank you for letting us be part of your journey. And until next time, always remember that we are rooting for you.